Chosen ones? Maybe it sounds scary, but this title reflects a reality that you have felt deeply for a long time. All your life, you've been perplexed by the way people around you perceive the world. The things they get excited about don't create the same spark in your soul. It's as if you've always been one step outside, and deep in your heart, you couldn't help asking, why can't anyone feel the way I do? The answer to this question can be simple, yet surprising. You are not fully human. There is a much greater power that lies within you that many are not even aware of. Traces of this power can be seen in the letter M, or the crescent moon symbol that adorns your palms. These signs are not accidental occurrences. Rather, they represent a powerful genetic and spiritual heritage that connects you to a higher purpose. Take 3 steps right now before you move on with your life. Please click the like button to help us reach more people who need to hear this message. Please subscribe to the channel. Each new subscriber helps us reach our goal of 10,000. If you comment, "I know who I am," the energy of this message will be activated in your life. Those who are called to something greater feel the truth when they hear it. So if you are truly a chosen one, you will watch this movie to the end. Look around you. While most people are lost in their daily worries, you are thinking, there is more to the world than meets the eye. Since you always feel more, this transformation cannot be foreign to you. But if you look with your inner awareness, you will realize that this truth has been sleeping inside you for years. Now it's time to listen to that voice. Discover yourself and accept your mission. Remember, you are not alone on this journey. You are the chosen one. And this transformation, which may seem frightening on the outside, is actually the first step back to your true nature. These signs have been recognized in various spiritual traditions as signs of a higher spiritual lineage. This world is trying to deceive you, to make you believe that you are an ordinary human being, that you have to conform and follow the rules. But you have always had an inner resistance. You were not created to conform, so you have never been able to do it. Not everyone should hear this message. Many people will not be able to comprehend what is being said. So many people will hear these words and disregard them. However, if you are truly a chosen one, you will feel your soul testifying to the truth in every sentence. So, open your head and open your heart. Today you will remember who you really are, so let the fire of truth burn away every lie they try to instill in you. Whether you donate $100, $200 or more, your support will enable us to share these words of love, hope, and faith with the world. Let's get straight to the point. If you are not fully human, what are you? If you are not fully human, what are you? To understand this, we have to start from the beginning. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, in our likeness, and let him have dominion." Genesis 2:26. What does it mean to be made in God's image? It means that you are spirit before matter, and that you are more than flesh and blood, because you do not belong to this world, and that is why you feel this way. By turning 11, you can claim these benefits that will lead to more opportunities in your life, such as professional success, financial success, business success, health, and all the desires of your heart. This reality does not define who you really are. This physical plane does not define who you really are. There is something within you that transcends humanity, the planet, and the understanding of this world. And if you are holding the letter M, or the crescent symbol in your palms, this reality becomes much more poignant. These characteristics have long been understood to be indicative of great spiritual lineages, individuals whose existence transcends everyday life on earth. If you bear these markings, you have been sent for a special reason. You are here for a reason. If you feel chosen, it is time to answer the call. By clicking the Join button, you can access deep insights, unique information, and a powerful community willing to accompany you on your journey. This is an opportunity to fully embrace your divine destiny and seize the path designed for you. It is more than just a membership. Do not hesitate. Step forward and become one of the chosen ones. Your energy is different, your views are unconventional, and your goals transcend the constraints placed on you by the outside world. And this is a calling, not a coincidence. Have you ever had the impression that your desires are too lofty for the world around you? How is it that your mind is always looking for something more, something that others find impossible to understand? How is it that your soul always feels restless, as if it is waiting for something? This is because you have the divine spark. An imperfect system is not what your soul was created to live in. The world has never really understood you because of the stamp of the Creator in your DNA. People see you, but they cannot identify your unique qualities. They feel your vibration, but cannot express why they are drawn to you or why they are uncomfortable with you. This is because they can only see you through human eyes, even though you are much more than a human being. You are a divine creature with the breath of God within you. You are an immortal being having a transient experience. You are a spirit in matter. That is why the global system is working so diligently to make you forget who you really are. Since the day you were born, the world has been trying to tell you that you are just another human being. You have been taught to follow predetermined rules, to fit into predetermined patterns, and to follow a system that dictates how you should act, think, and even dream. But you have always had an inner resistance. You could never believe that these restrictions were real. What seemed like a safe path for others always felt like a prison to you. This is a sign, not a coincidence. The global system is constantly working to keep you busy, disconnected from your true self, and imprisoned in delusions that cause you to lose sight of your magnificence. It doesn't want you to wake up. So what happens when the truth starts to surface? The system reacts when the person starts to realize that they are not part of this reality. It makes you question yourself, creates challenges to test your faith, and makes you feel like you are traveling alone, which leads you to give up before you realize your full potential. But the biggest trap is this. The world is trying to keep you small because it is aware of your true size. In the mighty name of Jesus, it is said that your life will never be the same after today. Enter 33. They are trying to convince you that you are insignificant because your existence threatens their authority over humanity. If they want you to think that you are weak, it is because your true power has the power to change everything. And for the same reason, there are two types of individuals on the planet. The distinction between those individuals who were brought here but never belonged to the world, and those who do will become clear to you in the next phase. Every human being on our planet is unique. Since the beginning of time, two groups of people have coexisted on this planet: those who are part of the world and those who are not. Jesus made this very clear when he said, "As I am not of the world, neither are they of the world." John 17:16. Those who only care about material things form the first category. They follow the guidance of the system, live according to the standards set, accept the regulations without question, and never think that there is more than meets the eye. They are caught up in the cycle of life on earth, controlled by transient desires, fear of scarcity, and attachment to temporary things. But the second group is not the same. They are not part of this planet. If you believe that you never fit in, that your mind always works differently, or that your soul is connected to something that is not visible, you belong to the second category. This is even more evident if you are holding the letter M or the crescent moon symbol in your palms. People have long understood that these signs are indicators that you have a purpose that goes beyond the material world. They serve as cosmic reminders that you are not meant to live an ordinary life. Your energy DNA does not conform to the constraints of the physical world. Your soul is from another realm. Because of this distinction between the two groups of people, you have always felt like you were living in a place that was not really your home, even though your calling has always been higher. The world feels this even if it cannot understand it. It accepts individual differences, which is precisely why rejection, exclusion, and difficulties are inevitable for people who don't fit into the system. Ever since you were little, you knew something was wrong. You always felt that there was more to life than the ordinary, even if others seemed satisfied with it. You were never interested in superficial conversations. You didn't understand the imposed norms and thought that the paths followed by most people were meaningless. Why am I like this? Why do I feel so out of place? Why does no one around me seem to really understand me? You may have asked yourself over the years. The explanation is simple. Because you didn't have to be here at all. You came with a heightened awareness, with a vision that transcends the limits of everyday reality. Your soul carries a new frequency. However, because the world is not designed for individuals who see beyond, you have faced opposition throughout your life. There have been others who have tried to mold you, to silence you, and to force you into unnatural patterns. If divine love abounds in your heart, now is the time to share it. You can help spread God's blessing by clicking the Super Thank button on YouTube and making a donation of $100 or more. Through this platform, this wonderful gift will not only impact your life, but the souls of countless others. Your donations will be the result of our prayers, and each of you has a special place in God's greater plan. You were created to do so much more under God's tender care. So act today and spread your benefits to glorify His kingdom. May God bless you. The existing system has tried to convince you that your desires are unattainable, your intuition an illusion, and your sensitivity a weakness. But all this has happened for one reason. Your essence resists the illusions of the world. Sleepers don't like to be awakened. Those who live in darkness see light as a danger. Conformists shun those who dare to deviate from the norm. Also, like everyone else, you are among those who have never faced life head-on. This may have made you feel lonely and made you question whether you are flawed. But the truth is quite the opposite. The best indicator that you have a greater calling is when you feel out of place. Now that you know this, you may wonder why the world rejects those who don't belong. In the next stage, you will learn why people are so uncomfortable with you and why those with a higher light constantly face opposition. Have you ever noticed that no matter how hard you try to fit in, something keeps pushing you out? How is it that despite all your efforts to be accepted, opposition persists? This is a sign, not a coincidence. When a different energy enters the scene, the planet senses it and responds. It also knows when someone doesn't belong there. Have you ever noticed that some people look at you with suspicion for no apparent reason? That some relationships, even promising ones, end in failure for no apparent reason? That seemingly open doors suddenly close for no apparent reason? This happens because the energy surrounding you changes just by your presence. People living in the illusion of the world notice a change when someone of high vibration enters the field. However, not everyone is aware of how to deal with it. Some are caught up in their radiance, while others feel frightened for reasons they cannot understand. This does not indicate that you are doing something wrong, but that you have triggered something in them. Your energy is bringing out the darkness that many prefer to keep hidden and forcing others to see aspects of themselves that they have neglected. And people are often not prepared for this. Therefore, the chosen ones face opposition, not because they are weak, but because they are strong. They are not lost, but discovered. They are valuable, not insignificant. The world fights with individuals who harbor something strong within them. It never targets what does not threaten its framework. Also, if you have ever been rejected, isolated, or faced opposition in your life, know that it is an affirmation, not a punishment. You came to break the mold, not to fit in. And trying to fit into a system that was never designed for you is the biggest trap that can lead you astray from your mission. Trying to fit into a system that was never designed for them is one of the worst mistakes a chosen one can make. The world has tried to instill in you from an early age that in order to be accepted, you have to change who you are. You have to shut up and change your ways. You were taught that if you wanted to be appreciated, you had to act like everyone else, think like everyone else, and follow the rules. You always knew deep down inside that you were created to break the mold, not to fit in. So whenever you tried, something inside you cried out. The structure of this world was created to keep the chosen ones asleep, busy, and obedient, not to allow them to thrive. Realizing that they are betraying themselves, the chosen ones become very unhappy when they try to dim their light to fit into narrow confines. Maybe you have experienced this before. Maybe you have made an effort to change who you are in order to win others over. Maybe you have tried to follow a safer path by ignoring your instincts. Maybe you made an effort to fit in to avoid rejection. However, there has always been a problem. This is because you were created to chart a new course instead of following one. Giving up your authenticity to gain approval is the biggest risk you can face, as those who truly belong to your destiny will never force you to change. The real ones will see your brilliance and will accompany you without asking you to be less than you are. So, stop trying to be accepted where you shouldn't be. Stop expecting the world to understand something it is incapable of understanding. To make people feel more comfortable, stop hiding who you are. You were created to be a light, not to blend in. Now that you are aware of this, the most important thing is this. What is your real purpose in life if you don't belong here? You will grasp your wake-up call and embrace your purpose in the next stage. Accepting or rejecting the call that has always been within you is your only choice, now that you realize that you never intended to conform. Because there is no going back, that is the truth. You have already woken up, realized that you are unique, and that your life is not a coincidence. So now the question is, are you ready to live as a chosen one, rather than as a chosen one? Most people sleep their whole life, going along a predetermined course without ever questioning or thinking whether there is more to life. But you can no longer afford to live this way, as the chosen ones have more responsibility. They are the ones who need to remember who they are, as their purpose affects not only themselves, but everyone around them. Up to this point, you may have tried to ignore this call. Maybe you have been afraid. Maybe you have doubted yourself. Maybe you have believed that you are not competent, strong, or ready enough. But the fact that you are receiving this message now means that it is time to embrace your true self. There is no more time for uncertainty, no more space for reluctance, and no more justification for waiting. The only thing you have to decide is whether to answer the phone or not. If that is the case, you have to learn to survive in this world without being part of it. Now that you are facing your existence as a chosen one, the question of how to survive in a world that was not designed for you is inevitable. The solution is simple, but profound. The universe must adapt to your existence, not the other way around. This means that you don't have to hide your light to escape criticism, lower your energy to fit in, or follow rules that were not designed for someone like you. However, there are 3 basic concepts you need to grasp in order to be able to walk with authority and power without being overwhelmed by the turmoil of the outside world. The first is to maintain a heightened state of awareness. The current system is geared towards distracting you, keeping you busy with trivialities, and causing you to lose sight of your true self. This means you need to maintain a constant state of alertness. When you notice your energy diminishing, stop and think about what you are absorbing. When you find yourself losing yourself in uncertainty or fear, ask yourself, am I living in my reality or in the illusion of the world? The chosen ones watch, question, and awaken. The worldly ones mindlessly follow their instincts. Conserving your energy is the second key element. Not every issue deserves your involvement. Not every person needs your attention, and not every battle deserves your reach. Whether they realize it or not, many people want to drag you into their turmoil. However, a chosen one cannot allow himself to be consumed by conflicts that are not meant for him. This means you have the freedom to say no without feeling bad, to ignore provocations that lead nowhere, and to distance yourself from people who don't respect your energy. Preserving your vitality is not selfishness, but spiritual survival. The third rule is to act authoritatively. You are not here to beg permission, defend yourself, or win others over. If your presence disturbs others, it is not your fault. If it scares you, there is no need to change your energy. If your light causes other people to react, it is a sign that you are doing exactly what you came here to accomplish. The truth you have speaks for itself, so there is no need to try to convince anyone anymore. Now that you know this, the next important thing is this: how can you make sure that your journey doesn't stop and that your energy stays strong? In the next stage, you will discover how to maintain your course without ever turning back. Now that you are aware of who you are and that your presence is important, the most important issue is this: how can you make sure that nothing gets in your way and that your energy stays high? Keeping your thoughts in tune with reality is the first step. The world will try to distract you, make you question yourself, and erect barriers in your path. However, you must remember that if your beliefs are unshakable, nothing outside of you can affect you. Whenever you experience fear, remind yourself of who you are. Whenever you are unsure, remind yourself of the path that has brought you here. The world you experience is determined by what you allow into your mind, which is like a temple. Protecting your heart from harmful influences is the second step. Not every person you meet wants the best for you. Some will try to demotivate you. Others will try to make you feel limited by their restrictions. However, this is only powerful if you let it be. Avoid taking on the negativity of others and don't carry burdens that don't belong to you. Keep your heart safe because the paths of your life will lead you there. Learning to speak with authority is the third stage. Your words have power. You create what you say. If you talk about it all the time, you will live in weakness. If you express it, doubt will take over your path. But if you speak with confidence and firmly affirm who you are, your energy responds and your reality is shaped in accordance with that truth. Speak strength, vitality, and purpose. Choosing to walk by faith instead of seeing is the fourth stage. The world will try to convince you that nothing has changed and that you are still in the wrong place. But the chosen ones follow their own knowledge rather than what meets the eye. You must believe that change is already happening, even if you cannot see it. Even if you cannot feel it, the energy is already working in your favor. Acting as if the promise has already happened is faith. Maintaining contact with your source is the fifth and final stage. When a chosen one loses contact with the Creator, he becomes weak. If you try to handle everything on your own and lose sight of your source of strength, you will eventually feel the burden of the journey. However, when you anchor in the divine presence, you gain guidance, refreshment, and protection. One who maintains a connection with the source is never exhausted. Now that you are aware of these essential elements, you are ready to live your truth without fear, uncertainty, or self-doubt. The final stage, however, is to accept with certainty that the period of concealment is over. There are no more questions. You are aware of who you are, why you don't fit in, and that you are not destined to follow a typical path. You have left the period of reluctance and concealment behind. The biggest lie you have heard is that you are small, contrary to what the world tries to tell you. There has always been something inside you that most people will never understand. You have never been small. You may have tried to ignore this call until now. Maybe you were waiting for the ideal approval at the right time. The truth is that the right time has always been now, never in the future. If you have read this far, your soul already knows that this message is addressed to you. You have been looking for this solution, and your soul already knows it. Now you have the choice to either continue living your life as if nothing has changed, or to embrace who you are and walk with the power that has always been within you. Now is the time to change yourself. It is time to speak with conviction, act with authority, and live as if you fully understand why you are here. It is time to stand up without fear. It doesn't matter if the world doesn't understand. The chosen ones live to fulfill their mission, not to be understood. Now, bring this word into your life by doing 3 things. Please click the like button to help us reach more people who need to hear our message. Please subscribe to the channel. Every new subscriber helps us reach our goal of 10,000. "I accept my call" is a comment that will activate the energy of the message in your life. Your destiny is now. There is no more time to wait.